Hello, everybody. How are you doing? What day is it? Thursday. I hope you had a good week. I am so glad it's Friday tomorrow. I don't know about you guys, but after a week being stuck at home because of the ice, I'm tired of being in the world. So, thank you for being here. We are going to talk about Traitors episode 4, season 2. Hopefully, y'all did your homework. Um, we'll say hello. So, hello, Emmy. Hi, Grandma Sherry. Kay Braze. Hey, Nunya. What up? All right. Is there, I guess, put a 1 in the chat if you watched episode 4. For me, episode 4, I feel like was super funny. There were a lot of really good little moments with some of the players. Janelle was hilarious. I watched all of season 1 and caught up on season 2 in between your streams. Oh my gosh. So the first season was crazy. It was the first time I'd ever watched The Traitors. Like I said last time, there's a few different countries um that they've been in. But I don't know how many seasons they have, so it could be relatively new over there also. But the first season was mind blowing. Just the end was probably the best ending to any reality TV game show that at least I've seen. Granted, I've never seen Survivor, so I guess my my catalog is limited, but it was bonkers. So I won't spoil it for anybody that wants to watch it. Hey Pookie, how's it going? Pookie, did you watch episode 4? I think you did like early. Oh yes. Yep. That whole part was super crazy. Hey, Truth Seeker. All right. So where we left off last episode, the traitors weren't gonna murder anybody that night. They had to murder somebody in plain sight. So they had to grab a chalice from the library that was poisoned, and they had to try to get somebody to drink it to poison them, basically in front of everybody. Kate Ray says my favorite old school show was Legends of the Hidden Temple. Yes, I loved Legends of the Hidden Temple. Hey, Amethyst Wolf, thanks for stopping by. Okay, so they were tasked with killing in plain sight via a dirty ass chalice, which, so we don't forget. And Parvati was like, how am I going to get somebody to drink out of this? Okay, bye, Grandma. Thanks for stopping by. So, yeah, Parvati's like, who the hell's going to drink out of this? MJ's not going to drink out of this. Like, what the hell am I going to do? So she walks into the kitchen area where Dan, Janelle, Trishelle, Ekin-Su, they're all huddled around like the sink. Or it's weird. It's a sink, but there's like a toaster in it. I think it's just like a storage thing, but I don't know if you guys have seen that. So Parvati walks in the room with the cup, and Dan looks like he is about to poop his pants. He's like super nervous. This is going to happen in front of everybody. She walks around a bit and says, "Okay, I found my target. Oh, yes, and I totally forgot." Okay, so this is where we left off after episode 3. So it was really weird in the intro. Alan just kind of brushed over that Deontay exited the game. And I think it was because he probably felt super responsible for banishing Maxim or Max. Because remember, he was crying at the end. For Dan to be a wonder of other strategy shows, he's which I know. I know. Yeah. He kind of get I'm surprised they actually chose him. Yes, winner. I know. All right. I know. I was thinking the same thing. So K Bray says it seems like it would be hard to get someone to drink from it or fake like you tried and ask somebody, "Hey, can you taste this?" Yeah, I know. I would, especially just because you know that what it's gonna do. Yeah, I would be super nervous. Um, so she does get nervous because she wants to do NJ first and then decides, abort, abort, abort. We're gonna go over here. So, it gets even crazier though if you haven't seen it. But so Dan's still a traitor. Johnny Bananas is murdered. Marcus has been murdered. Max has been banished. Peppermint has been banished. Deontay has done a Irish exit. And Phaedra and Parvati, sorry. Her name reminds me of Havarti cheese, and so I keep wanting to see that. So that is who is left in the game so far. So they are in the kitchen area. Pavardi says, "Okay, I found my target. This is who I'm going to poison."
Faithful are.
So Parvati, so they're all in the kitchen area, right? And Parvati's basically like, "Tell me who the traitors are." I mean, if you're a traitor, you're not gonna be like, "Oh, hey, it was me," you know. So Dan's like, "I don't know who the traitors are. I can tell you who the faithful are." Um, and so Ekin-Su basically says,
I leave the show and I find out who the was betrayed me, I'm gonna him up hard.
she says, "When I leave the show and I find out who the traitors are, I'm gonna fuck them up hard." And the best part is she's talking to two traitors. Their two traitors are right there. Oh, and then I think the best is Trishelle's reaction. She's like, okay. So put a pin in that because, hey, Georgia Peach, thanks for being here. I know, is that a threat or a promise, right? I think it was a little bit of both. Oh, yeah, I know. Like, oh, God. Oh, so Ekin-Su ends up drinking out of the chalice. Okay? So at this point, Pavarti's the only one that knows Ekin-Su's the one who was poisoned. Pavarti says, "I love you, Ekin-Su, but you had to die." This is the weirdest part to me of the show. I mean, don't get me wrong. My mom said I had a death wedding because I had a till death neon sign, but it's just funny how serious they take the quote unquote dying in this show. Pavarti says Dan was right there, but I don't know if he knows and I just poisoned Ekin-Su right in front of his face. And then it cuts to Dan, and he says, I have no clue who got it, but I hope it's Larsa or MJ because they're on to me. So remember this last roundtable, Dan was hardly pointed at. Like, people were like, it's him, it's him. It's interesting to me how well people pick up on small things. Oh my gosh. Nanya, I was saying last time, like, it reminds me of kind of YouTube drama where people notice one tiny little thing, like John basically saying how I have been known to have been asthmatic. And then somebody asking him for an inhaler, and then all of a sudden he's a liar because he didn't have an inhaler. And it's just like, come on. My grandma used to say that a wedding and a funeral are the same thing. Hey, rapper, you better behave. So yes, Dan was being pointed out by like MJ and Larsa at the last round table. So he feels to him he got out by the skin of his teeth, but yes. Okay, so breakfast the next morning. It's basically Dan and Phaedra first, and they're like, "Do you know who got murdered? Do you know who got murdered? Did we even murder anybody?" And then Pavardi enters breakfast, and Dan and Phaedra are like, "Who did we murder? We have no idea. Did we get anybody?" And Pavardi says, "I had to throw a Hail Mary because no one was going to drink out of that rusty ass cup." And I'm gonna bring it back to show everybody the rusty ass cup. So, at the last round table, Phaedra voted to banish Ekin-Su. So when Pavardi says, "Oh, I had to poison Ekin-Su," her reaction is pretty on money. So again, Phaedra voted to banish Ekin-Su the night before. So in Merton, Ekin-Su dying, people are going to be like, "Who's this person voted to banish her? She's obviously a traitor, right?"
Oh, my Lord, sweet baby Jesus. Not Ekin-Su. Lord, not Ekin-Su.
And I love Phaedra. She's so dramatic. But she's like, "Oh, no, not Ekin-Su, not Ekin-Su." Yeah, it's going to make Phaedra look super suspicious. Or will it? I mean, we'll see. So Phaedra's like, "Not Ekin-Su, not Ekin-Su." And Dan's laughing. She's like fanning herself. And Pavardi basically says, "We didn't even talk about murdering Ekin-Su."
About murdering Ekin-Su. She was not on any of our lists to kill.
She was not on any of the lists to kill. So it could bite them in the end because, like Nanya said, it's going to make Phaedra look super suspicious. Or would it do the opposite and just confuse everybody? I mean, we'll see. Okay, so yeah, so the reason that Phaedra's freaking out because she voted the night prior to banish Ekin-Su, and then Dan says this could be good for him later in the game to use to his advantage. So Dan's wheels are already turning on how he can use the fact that this is bad for Phaedra to make it good for him. That's always how his mind works. I'd be nervous to date Dan, right? I would always be like, what the fuck's he thinking?
So it was a big surprise.
Okay, so these next clips are a big string of hilarious Janelle. But so oh yeah, so everyone starts coming in, celebrating that they're there.
Absolutely
Janelle's
delighted
like,
to see
I'm
the people
so excited to see everybody who's at the table because I love them all.
sitting there because I love all of them so much.
How did you sleep?
And yeah, Janelle says, I didn't sleep very well and I had a shield. And then, like I said, this is funny Janelle stuff.
I didn't
And I
sleep
had a
either.
shield. If Phaedra leaves, I would be 100% not okay.
So she says, if Phaedra leaves, I would 100% be not okay. So they're supposed to work together, but keep in mind, the last person basically that gets to the end gets all the money. So if 3 traders make it, then 3 of them get to split the prize pot. If 2 make it to the end, then 2 of them get to split the prize pot. If 1 trader makes it to the end, they get it all to themselves. So they do want to make it till the end, but they also want to be the only one to make it to the end, if that makes sense. He will mention at the round table to one faithful, get him looking at her watch. Yeah. Okay. So Janelle says, if Phaedra left, I'd be super sad. Any of the other housewife bitches, I wouldn't really
Like,
care.
if any other housewives left, I can move on with my life. I just really wouldn't care.
I love Janelle. She's hilarious. So yeah, she says the Bravo people are working together. So that's the next clip. Oh wow. So now even the traitor. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Dan's already thinking like we almost kind of framed Phaedra in a way. Like let's use that to our advantage later and try and get her, banished. Because even later in this episode, he says we got to give them some blood. We have to give them something because we're just narrowing down the options, and it's the list is getting small. We keep banishing the faithfuls.
Looking like a boy. The Bravo people are definitely working.
Okay, so yeah, she says the Bravo people are definitely working together. And then she says there's the gamer click. I'm gonna fast forward just so I'm not playing too many clips. So the gamer click, which is CT, Dan, Sandra, and Parvati, because Sandra and Parvati are from Survivor. And then CT's obviously from the challenge, Dan from Big Brother. And then she says, then there's the people she thinks that are faithfuls, which are Pavarti and I think she says
People that I
Kevin,
think are faithful. So Bergie, Trishelle, Peter,
Bergie,
and John.
Trishelle, Peter,
Also,
and John.
Kevin's a faithful, but he's a really dumb faithful.
So she says Kevin's a faithful, but he's a dumb faithful. Right now, the traitors need to get rid of the faithfuls, and then towards the end, you throw traitors under the bus so that it's just you and them, and he's just evil and so you laugh. That is a good, yeah. I know, Nanya, don't you wish that? Because I think the last season they took like people that were just like regular people. They do that again. You should apply. Not gonna lie, I kind of want to apply to be on Big Brother. Uh, all right, so now they're like, who's left? Like, What the hell's going on? So let's see. So each time the door knocks, and I don't know why they're knocking to go to breakfast. They're like, "Oh my God, who is it? I'm so
You
scared."
look all tanned and rosy.
Okay, so they're like, "Who's left? Who's possibly left?" And then Larsa goes, "Everybody that's been murdered has been in my circle. That's the only link between all of them." And I'm like, "Calm down." She's she's like, "I was close to Johnny. I was close to Max. That's my circle." And then I don't know what my notes says. That's really embarrassing. I wish they'd only had regular people this time. Yeah, I know. I know. That's so true. And one of the regulars was a traitor last time, I feel, right? Oh, that's why I don't watch TV or movies because how is the same actor going to die? Right? I can't go across the world to play a game and show my ass on TV. So I think it's like Phaedra keeps freaking out because at this point they think, well, they believe that Pavarti has poisoned Ekin-Su. Ekin-Su ain't coming to breakfast, right? Well, wrong.
Ekin-Su and John. Everyone that's been
Yeah.
that's the
So this bitch walks through the fucking door. She's supposed to be murdered. So obviously Phaedra's like, okay, not tripping anymore. She's alive. Even Dan's like gets to act all excited. And Pavarti's like, what the fuck? I poisoned that bitch. How's she alive?
Walking into breakfast
Hey,
right
Sinner.
now.
How's
She's
it going?
supposed to be dead.
She's
Did she give her the
supposed to be
wrong
dead.
chalice?
Oh, yeah. And then Phaedra's like, did she give her the wrong chalice? Like, what the fuck? And then this is one of my favorite
Either it
things.
didn't work, or Ekin-Su is the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Ekin-Su, right? Ekin-Su is the second coming of Jesus Christ. Oh, so the traitors are freaking out because that bitch is supposed to be dead. And then so Alan comes in. Oh, the best part also is like, so basically Ekin-Su comes in, and then MJ comes in, and they're like, why did they kill John? Like, what the, like, what did John do to anybody? And then John knocks on the door, and everybody's freaking out because they're like, okay, nobody got murdered. And then John's face when he walks in is one of my favorites because he doesn't know why everybody's so excited to see him because everybody's so excited that no one died last night. So that was one of my favorites because he was just like, what? And usually everybody comes in looking all nice and done up, cute clothes. He does look like he just rolled out of bed. Hey, Shambles. That almost sounds like a setup, like you would almost tell on yourself trying to figure out if she felt okay, right? I know, like, oh, how you feeling today? You feeling okay? Like, what's going on? So then Alan comes in and says, basically, somebody was poisoned in front of everybody, And the poison is not going to take action until later today. So the mission is to figure out who got poisoned that day. So they are told to dress to pay their respects. So now everybody's like, okay, somebody got handed a drink or something in front of us. Like, who got handed a drink? And then Dan and Phaedra and Ekin-Su are like, oh shit. They know. Okay, let's see what
happens. Breadcrumbs may follow there.
I think, Tamara, you poisoned me.
Okay, so this is hilarious. So Kevin is, he was from Bling Empire. Never heard of that show. There's a weird banter between him and Tamra from the Housewives, but I think it's more of like Tamra is annoyed by him and he just kind of plays into it. Hey, Kathy, you made it, but you're like, no worries. I'm glad you made it. So yeah, Tamara's super annoyed by Kevin. And Kevin kind of plays into it, but you kind of see why she says that. So he basically is like, I think Tamara wish I got poisoned.
Tamara, you poisoned me because you don't want to see me eat.
Tamara, I think you poisoned me because you don't want to see me eat. And then her response.
Do your kids eat with their mouth open? No. I'd smack them in the back of the head.
If I was a traitor,
Do your kids eat with their mouth open? No, I would smack him in the back of the head. So there's some people clinging on to little things like, oh, I was at once asthmatic and now I don't have an inhaler. And other people are out here saying, I wish this guy got poisoned because he eats with his mouth open. Oh, you got sucked in? Oh, did you watch season 1? So yeah, he's like, he says, it's back in the back of the head.
I would definitely poison Kevin. He's so annoying.
I guess I guess that's a good pause because it shows how he eats. All right. I'm interested to see what all of the traitors turning against each other is going to bring issues. I know. Yes, he's a chomper. Chomper Mick Chomperson. Hey, Cheese, what's up? But yeah, she's like, if I was a traitor, I'd poison Kevin because he's annoying. Oh, okay. So after this, everybody breaks off, starts talking with their cliques. The housewives are in one room talking about like there has to be an alpha male. Like they were saying at the end of last episode, like there has to be an alpha male. That's why he's taking out all the big guys. Oh no. Well, I hope it comes back soon. That's never fun. I was dealing with that last week, so I definitely feel your pain. But sending you positive internet vibes, Miss Kathy. So they're all
Feel like
talking like this must be an alpha male. Larsa, of course, is like leading the charge. Tamara's going off about Kevin.
He wants to be a traitor just because he's annoying.
So she also wants him poisoned. So if he's not going to get poisoned, then he's a traitor because he's annoying. So this is my family. What time is it? Oh gosh. Yeah, I hear you, K-Brace. I've had some crazy ass family fights as well. Like the 90s were just crazy.
I'm gonna try and like figure it.
Okay, so then Trishelle and Janelle are talking, and then see, this is what I was talking about, the sink. Like, look at, there's a toaster in there, but I guess that's the sink. When I saw it in a flash, I was like, what the fuck? Why is there a toaster in the sink? Hey, Okie, thanks for dropping in. Have we heard anything on Yep? Have we? Oh, Cheese had a nap and now he is rejuvenated. So, yes, I was nervous that the toaster was in the sink, but I guess that's the sink. Anywho, Trishelle and Janelle, they are gossiping about the fact that Ekin-Su was like, "Wow, I'm gonna get the traitors. Fuck the traitors." And I don't know why this pauses this much. Let's see. Okay.
Bad acting. I've never trusted Ekin-Su. She seems really like an odd duck.
So yeah, they're talking about how Ekin-Su was like, "Fuck the traitors. I'm gonna fuck up the traitors." It's a strange face. Yeah, it's kind of cute. I just during that pause, like before I paused it, I was like, "Oh shit, there's something in the sink." So yes and no, K-Ray. So last week somebody slipped up and said they were a traitor when they weren't. So I haven't yet seen a traitor, I think, slip up. It's been a while since I've watched the first season. Nunya, I mean, Nunya just watched it. So yeah, they're saying, "Oh, Ekin-Su's acting suspicious." I can't talk. And she's saying, "I never really liked Ekin-Su. She's an odd duck." And then this is another just golden Janelle moment.
She always seems so giddy and excited. Ekin-Su sucks. She really does.
She's like, Ekin-Su sucks. She really does. That's why I love Janelle. She's hilarious. But yeah, I don't think any of the traitors have slipped up really. Oops. No, don't be sorry. I've sent the Texans. Oh, yes. I remember that now. I need to rewatch last season. But yes, I remember that now. They said they got an invite to be in the Traitors, but declined. And we were like, yeah, right. Sure, Jan. And then so now Kevin's talking to the housewives. They're like making fun of him because of all the shit he ate the night before. And so then Kevin starts tripping and he's like,
Way too much yesterday. I had so many hors d'oeuvres. Then I tried the little cheese puff.
so then he starts listing off what he ate. I ate so much last night. I ate all the hors
Things, and then I
d'oeuvres,
tried the
the
shrimp
cheese
thing, and then I
puffs.
had all of dinner. There's no way I didn't get poisoned last night.
He says, "There's no way I did not get poisoned last night." Oh yes, and so I also forgot to show. I've noticed Trishelle is experiencing a 2000s millennial girl MAC Cosmetics eyeshadow craze. Like I'm not knocking anybody's looks, but what the fuck is on her? Oh, okay, Braze, it gets good. It gets good this episode. So yes, like it doesn't even look blended. Like that's my biggest pet peeve. If you're gonna do crazy eyeshadow, I don't know. Anyways, that's my rant. But I did clip some more eyeshadow pictures of her because I couldn't. Okay, so like I had mentioned before, Dan says we got to give them blood. So him and Parvati are like, we may have to frame Phaedra soon. We've got to give them something before they start sniffing us out. And he had a close call last week. Yes, paranoia. Paranoia, paranoia, everybody's coming to get me. Right? Isn't that everybody? It seems so easy, but we see it day in and day out that for some people it is just not. So Dan is gonna Dan. He's gonna use Parvati, he said, to take a shot at Phaedra when the time is right. He says he can't win with her in the game, and she's the last one people would suspect to be a traitor. So he says we've got to give them some blood. We have to figure out how to get her banished, basically. So they walk outside, and Alan is in his respectables. This is Alan Cummings' prison wear. Not prison wear, funeral wear. What the fuck? I think it's because I've been watching that American Nightmare show. Oh my God. All right. So this is Alan's funeral wear and these horses behind him. So basically, the mission today is they're going to have clues that basically describe certain players. And if you are just, if it in the description, then you're safe. You were not poisoned. Oh my God, I know. His outfits are so crazy. And I love it because he was in Romeo and Michelle, and it just kind of reminds me of very Romeo and Michelle clothing. Thanks, Nightbot. Hey, Stephanie. Thanks for being here. I hope you're well. So they have to figure out who got poisoned, basically, at the end. They're all dressed in their best funeral wear. That is one thing I love about this show, and I bet the Survivor people love about this show because you see what they have to wear. Yeah, everybody's coming to get me. But I do love the effort that they all put in to their clothes. Again, Trishelle, what are you doing? And then the lipstick matches the eyeshadow. Is that a thing now? Is that a thing to match your eyeshadow to your lipstick nowadays? Any cool kids out there can tell us? Just kidding. I know. Thanks for saying hi to Nightbot. I did figure out some cool commands though for Nightbot, so let's see if this works. Maybe I gotta do it in this. Oh, dang, Streamlabs also. You gotta disable that. Okay. Anywho, I just wanted to test that. So yes, Trishelle. I don't know. So they have to do a funeral procession, which is super depressing, but I guess it's the name of the game, right? So they have to walk. Oh, yeah, the safe people get to be in the carriage. So Janelle, Peter, and Tamara are all safe. So they get to sit in the carriage. So each stop determines who is safe from the poison. So the first is the players who are safe are the ones born in the same year as another player. Proton mail, K-Rays, I think it's a more secure email is what I've been told. So I used that. I know what other, I gotta think of the other command that I did. Anywho. Okay, so the players that were in the same group that were born in the same year, I believe it was Sandra, Dan. Oh, I can't remember the other two. I think it was Larsa and one more person. So the next stop, there's this creepy ass chorus with these black veils, and they're singing, "Who?" I was gonna try and sing it. Who did Johnny Bananas trust the most? Who did Johnny Bananas trust the most? I think that's how it went. So obviously, out of that group of people, probably Trishelle and CT because they're all from the challenge. So Trishelle and CT step forward. Oh yeah, and one clip I forgot was this was super funny from CT.
Be thinking about somebody here is walking to their death. You can't help think, like, am I dead right now?
He's like, you can't even think, am I dead right now? I forgot how funny he is. So Johnny Bananas trusts CT and Trishelle the most. So they are now safe. So they get to sit in the carriage. So the funny thing is that CT, of course, is like, first time Bananas ever saved me. First time he ever did me anything.
First time he's ever saved.
Seriously, it's the first time he's ever done anything for me.
First time he's ever did anything for me. Sounds like a Boston Italian. Yeah, never does anything for me. Okay. So at this point, the next clue was who was on the red team during the Scarecrow Challenge. So then those people are now safe, and we are down to Pavardi, NJ, and Ekin-Su. So these three have to now march to the next stop, which when they get there, this is what the fuck they see. Oh shit. Sorry, guys. There's a shelter in place. There's a shelter in place. Armed robbery suspect. Yikes. To keep my eyes out. I hear hella police sirens, so that must be why. A robbery person might jump in my backyard, guys. I'll keep you updated. So, yes, they walk upon these three coffins. And so they each have to get in a coffin. And Ekin-Su turns to the group and says, "Thanks for murdering me, guys." First comes mistrust, then comes disadvantage, then you're dead ass. Is that black? What? Is that a song? All right. So they're all standing there. Oh, I won't too far, but I didn't spoil anything. So Basically, they each have to get into a coffin. Each player has to, one by one, place a black rose into the coffin of the person that they believe got poisoned. If they successfully guess, I get like the majority rules, I guess, they win $20,000 for the prize pot. If they guess wrong, they get nothing. So one by one, they all start putting their black rose into MJ's coffin. Everybody put their black rose in MJ's coffin. So they obviously think that one of the traitors killed MJ. Which could have been or not. Okay. I start getting, you know what, well, goofy also just smoked. Hey. To each their own, and I have not smoked, so. All right.
I don't know whether to be happy or not.
I know.
Okay. So, Alan reveals who was poisoned. Look at all their faces. They're like, what? And I love Phaedra. She is such a good actor. She is the best surprise faces. So MJ's like, what the fuck? I thought I definitely got poisoned.
MJ.
And then the craziest, weirdest part is okay.
Oh my God. Like, I feel like we're all being punked.
How'd you get?
I'm really confused why they would poison Ekin-Su. I'm pretty sure she's going to get banished. These traitors are not that smart.
So obviously, hopefully, they do not have actually Ekin-Su in there. They're putting her in the ground. That's my guess. Otherwise, that's really scary. I would not want to be put in the ground. But yeah, everyone's like, why the fuck did they murder Ekin-Su? That's so weird.
To mistrust. A sad day. And what makes this day even more so?
Oh yeah, and he goes, and what's even more sad is that y'all fucked up and lost $20,000 for the prize pot. Okay, also, this was bothering me. Let me find the spot. Okay, Sandra's head. I was like, did she have that when the game started? And then I saw recently that during the graveyard challenge, she actually tripped and hit her head on a headstone. So, yikes, spikes. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck happened to her head? So yeah, they lost $20,000. This fucking guy. This guy pops up here and there, and he's so creepy. And then they all have to drop their rose. Okay. So Dan is saying probably our best murder because this has probably caused the most confusion. Which, like I said, they're casting kind of doubt. They're throwing everybody off. Pedro was on Andy's show talking about the casting show and she, KJ, and Laura. Yeah. Tamra. So Sandra from Survivor. Okay, let me put back up. Oh, and actually. Okay, so as we stand, Bananas, Marcus, and Ekin-Su have been murdered. So Sandra from Survivor says, I'm going to keep good with the housewives, which is smart. They're like the clickiest click, and they're all still there. She says, Larsa runs the housewives. She's got a big mouth and gets under my skin. And I'm like, yeah, I could definitely see that. Larsa is everywhere talking. I mean, not her nonsense, but, her theories, but she's very loud. She's I think she's trying to be the next Marcus because Marcus isn't there anymore. So she's trying to be that voice everybody listens to. I know. She hit her head on a freaking headstone. Oh, yes. I did just blow my nose. Did you hear it? I thought I muted myself. Oh, you're behind. I am blowing my nose. I apologize. I got really stuffed up all of a sudden. I'm sorry if I blew my nose here, guys. I thought I muted myself. Anywho, let me make sure I'm on right. Oh my gosh. My microphone wasn't plugged in, so I was muting the wrong freaking thing. Ah. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, I blew my nose a lot. I was gonna say, Steph, what mark are you at? So I can edit that out. But you know what? I did it the whole time. I switched my mic. I think I'm on the right mic now. Hey, Thor. Okay, good. Oh, you put a winky face. You heard it. All right. So, Pavarti tries to convince Janelle that Larsa is a traitor. And Berkey and Kevin are there. There's like, well, we don't know what's going on. So another example of somebody grabbing something and running with it. No worries. I thought I was being sly, so I'm glad you told me. Otherwise, I would have been doing it all night. But we're already almost an hour in, so it is what it is. So Janelle is grabbing onto the fact that the breakfast that they found out Marcus was murdered. Larsa was like, "Cheers to Marcus." So that obviously must have been Larsa poisoning somebody. So that's another example of somebody grabbing something so stupid and then, turning it into, "Oh, they must have poisoned me because they cheers." What I love though is that Pavarti thought that she poisoned Ekansu, like, in such plain sight that everybody saw. Oh gosh. I will not. And Janelle also says Larsa's been manipulating the housewives. She's trying to get people to vote for a man. So Larsa's just like, we gotta get a man now. We gotta banish a man. We gotta banish a man. So she just thinks it has to be an alpha male. It has to be somebody taking out all these big people. But then Ekansu's like, it's a weird one. Doesn't make sense. Oh, yeah. So then Larsa goes up to the wall of everybody's picture and was like, "He sucked. He's not smart. He's stupid," like, pointing at Bergie, John, and Kevin. And then it's like, it has to be CT or Dan. Um, and he's like, "But she's like, "It has to be CT. CT's the alpha male." But Dan and CT are both gamers, so it could be either of them. And then Sandra's just like, "I'm loyal to CT, so I'm gonna vote Larsa out." Need to watch the show. Oh, no worries. I'm distracted because I didn't do my no worries, girl. Okay, so at the round table, Larsa and MJ are going after Dan and CT. CT, um, but mostly CT. They're mostly like, "It's you. You're the alpha male." Blah blah blah. And then Pavardi does something that is gonna change, I feel like, the trajectory of the game. And she says, "What about the housewives?" Now, mind you, she just said, "What about the housewives?" She didn't name a housewife. I get that includes obviously Phaedra, but she didn't name her, right? So once Bavardi's like, "What about the housewives?" Phaedra gets
We are not killing anyone. So don't do the housewives thing, honey. Don't do that, Parvati.
"Don't do that, Parvati." I didn't know it existed. Oh, well, if you so it's on what is it on Peacock? It's on Peacock, but I also posted a link where I think you can watch it for free. You guys, the 5th episode just came out tonight. So I'm excited to see where this goes, especially that we're recapping it now because I'm getting re-excited to see what happens. Because yeah, Phaedra's like, "Don't do that, Parvati. We're not killers." When Phaedra, bitch, you are a killer. So in the end, Larsa ends up getting banished. Everybody clings on to the Larsa train and rides it all the way to Banish Town. And Larsa's like, "I'm of course a faithful. I hope you guys redirect yourselves." And then of course everybody's like, "No, no. We can't believe it." All right. So now, mind you, somebody died today, but nobody died the night before. So now the traitors have to go to the turret and decide who to murder that night. And so after that interaction with Parvati and Phaedra,
one suspects.
they get to the turret. You know what? She did say something about running funerals. Yes, and she's, married I guess she's on Married to Medicine. I've never seen that show. Yeah, and she's a lawyer too, I think. But she did say something about, like, this was her cup of tea when they were doing the funeral, like, I did funerals for a living." Alright, so you guys think Phaedra's gonna bitch her out? You think this torrent meeting's gonna be good? Oh, that look she gave her.
That wasn't cool. For you to go in there and try to throw me under the bus.
So what are your guys' thoughts? She didn't name her. She said housewives, general term. There's like how many others? So besides her, there's 1, 2, 3. So there's 3, 1, 2. Yeah, I guess 3. 3 other housewives.
Wait, what? What happened?
But when you do stuff
And poor Dan's like, "Wait, what happened?" Because nothing happened. I mean, I guess the outburst from Phaedra happened, but
like that, it brings attention to me.
so I guess she's just mad she called the housewives out in general because it brings attention to her.
Like, oh, they work together, they're on the show. I'm like, are you kidding me? No one likes you, Parvati.
She says, "No one likes you, Parvati." Did you guys hear me blow my nose that time? So she says, "Nobody likes you, Parvati. Why you gotta bring attention to me, girl?"
Everyone says you're a traitor. We can be in this game together, but you're gonna play fair. And if you don't, you can have more problems at the faithful.
Dan's like, "Gulp." What the fuck?
What she did tonight was unacceptable.
Like, is she a child? Unacceptable. I cannot believe you did that. All right, so that's where it left us. We don't know who got murdered, but we will find out tonight. Let me get the link again. Yay, I hope that meant nope, you didn't hear me blow my nose. All right, so there's the link where you can watch the show for free. There is a new episode tonight, so I will schedule a live to recap episode 5. Probably, let's see, I'm going live tomorrow. Maybe Sunday? We'll see. But keep your eyes open, keep your notifications on. I am going live tomorrow to talk about that Netflix documentary, American Nightmare, episode 1. So if you want if you haven't seen that, if you don't have Netflix, I'll look at this. I'll look at this website that has the traders and I'll see if I can find American Nightmare. Because that shit was also super crazy. Thank you, K-Rays. I'm glad I can make you into it. You haven't seen it. I mean, I don't think you've seen it. So, who will the traitors murder tonight? I'm like, who would they murder? I feel like Phaedra would say somebody close to Parvati, but I mean, the only person she really knows is Sandra, and they don't really like each other. Okay. No worries. Or Bergie. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly have no idea who they're gonna target, but I'm interested to see how this shakes out with Parvati and Phaedra. Poor Dan stuck in the middle of a little cat fight, which I don't think he's gonna be comfortable. So, he may try and him and Parvati might take this opportunity to try and frame Phaedra. Say that 7 times fast. Um, and so, yeah, I'm really interested to see how that works out. Why don't they have some type of voting where you could, like, text it something and vote? I know. Well, probably because it's not like a live show like Big Brother. So oh, just who will be next? They might. I'll have to look. Sometimes they have the things, like, that pop up at the bottom of the screen that are, like I think it's usually, like, tweet or, hashtag Traders USA. But I don't know. That would be really fun, though. I know we should, maybe once we get closer to the end, maybe we'll do some sort of voting to see who we think's gonna get murdered the next week. Well, all right. I thank you guys for hanging out and talking the traitors with me. I apologize for blowing my nose in your ears. But hopefully it wasn't too loud. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a good Thursday night or Friday morning if you're in a part of the world where it's already Friday. Again, Traders episode 5 is out. I believe it's out now. We will talk about that episode in just a few days. So keep your eyes out. And have a good night.